Have a late-breaking bulletin. Yes, from the Weather Bureau. Yes, tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny with an 80% chance of Skylab falling on your house. I mentioned last night that the odds, and it concerned a lot of people, 154 to 1, that you might be struck by part of the Skylab. Now, that's not very good odds, is it? We were pointing out that could be 2 or 3 people just in this audience alone. Everybody looking, not me, it won't happen to me. Today is also, as you know, is the first day of summer. It is also the longest day of the year. Now you know how President Carter feels every day. Want to see how his mother liked that one? You know it's summer? Because gasoline is $1 a gallon, just like they promised. Whoever thought that the 2 words would strike terror in American hearts would be last car. You know, a lot of people cancel vacations this summer because of the gasoline shortage. They were going to go out. I know a fellow out in Encino, in the valley here, who put his kids in the Winnebago and just ran alongside the windows holding up pictures of Grand Canyon. And the kids, it's a sad affair. You know, a few weeks ago, I mentioned last night on the show, they were kidding us back east, Californians, about being gas guzzlers and not being able to manage our gasoline. As you, of course, now know, it's happened in the East Coast, in New York, and in Washington today, D.C., the odd-even system began. Nixon's finally getting his revenge. You see, everybody back there depends on license plates, and his administration made most of them. I like June 21st. 21st of June. You know it's summer. I saw a robin today schlepping his worm to the beach. You know, Carl Malden switched to a straw hat and a seersucker nose today? You see, many guys, most comedians, a lot of them were raised in New York City, the Lower East Side. And in the summer, the way you cooled off in New York City, you opened up a fire hydrant. And that's the way you got cool. But see, I was raised in Nebraska, and we didn't have that. On a hot day, what we'd do, we'd just open a valve on a Guernsey. Guernsey is, I got it made. And Ed is kind of from back east, used to go to summer camp in the Poconos. That's where he's told me this, and I've never revealed it, but I figure why not now? That's where he had his very first summer romance with an Indian maiden. Princess Dying Rabbit. It was just a beautiful day today. I took a stroll down Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Have you been there? That is a ritzy street. I saw 2 Beverly Hills kids. They had a little lemonade stand. $3 cover and a $5 minimum. That's no way to grow up. Well, I mentioned earlier there's some good news and bad news. The bad news is that they say now that Skylab, there's a possibility it may fall on New York City. The good news is it'll be stripped before it hits the ground. As you well know, I'm sure by now we have tonight on the show the mother of one of the country's most important and respected and beloved citizens. That's my mom up there in the 8th row. No, it's a privilege to have the president's mother, Miss Lillian. Miss Lillian Carter is on the show, and I asked her backstage tonight if she's ever bothered about the jokes I occasionally make about her sons, and she said no. She believed that was the American way. She has no hard feelings, And she even agreed to go down tomorrow and see me on my troop transport to Korea. There was one silly item in the news today. This I don't understand at all, and it was on television news. There's a fellow in Japan who invented a square watermelon. Now, it's true. Why, I don't know. I've heard of chicken in a basket, but watermelon in a valise? Well, that's about all I have on that, really. They cost $20 a piece, though. That seems high, but they also open to a radio. Okay, I won't keep you any longer. We have an exciting show on tonight. Later, Lieutenant Governor Mike Curb will be out here and ask Miss Lillian to adopt him so he can get to Washington without being governor. And along with Miss Lillian Carter, we have Burt Reynolds. And Miss Carol Wayne, who along with the mighty Carson Art Players will bring you another tea time movie tonight. My first guest tonight, in addition, of course, to being the mother of the President of the United States, has received numerous awards herself in recognition of many outstanding years of humanitarian service to others. And it's been quite a while since we've had such a picturesque, quotable, and colorful presidential mother who's appeared on the White House scene. And it's a great pleasure and honor to have her here tonight. Would you welcome, please, Miss Lillian Carter. It is such a pleasure to have you here tonight.
Yes, and I've been listening to you from the outside, too.
Were you listening to the...
Yes, I heard what you said.
Uh-huh.
No, it doesn't bother me. In fact, that's the reason I came today, so you cut out Carter jokes for one day.
Yeah, you don't get to see the show too often, you told me, because it's a little bit late.
Yeah, I have to listen to the ball game every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just... Don't turn it off for you. But if I do get to the ball game and try to look at you, somebody else is on.
Yeah.
How many nights?
Well.
I like you.
Did you think that the president might be able to get a guest president on Monday nights or something like that?
He might.
Because he has a tough job.
Well, I know he does, but he overcomes it.
Yeah.
And you will, too.
Thank you. By the way, how are the kids?
Which kids?
All of your children. You prefer. We sat together one night at a very nice dinner.
Yes, we did.
With the Gregory Pecks.
Yeah.
And I asked you at that time, you prefer to be called Miss Lillian.
That's
don't
right.
You?
That's what I prefer to call. I remember that night because you came in and sat by me, and I asked you how you rated getting over there with me.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me, and I said, well, Johnny, I have to tell you, I never did like you. And you said, by the end of the evening, you're going to find me charming.
That's right.
Which I did. Don't put it in the paper.
No, that's nice. You know, I was a little nervous because when you meet somebody who's the president's mother, you want to be on your best behavior.
That's right.
And there have been times in history when I have been out and have not been on my best behavior. And
I didn't hear that.
no, okay. You are. Can I ask you one question?
You can ask me anything you want to.
There
There
are no ground rules.
No ground rules. I say
All
what
right.
I want to. You say what you want to.
When the youngsters were little children, and they would act up, especially, let's say, the president. He was a little boy, and you had to discipline him. Did you ever whip his behind?
Or any other name.
Or any other name.
Right.
So that's where he got that. Now,
Yeah.
you... Now, you saw that quote in the papers.
Yes, I saw it.
What was your first reaction when you read
Well,
that?
I thought, that's my Jimmy. I was asked her a dozen times since then.
I'll bet you were.
Do you think he said it? I said, the paper said he said it, so he must have.
Yeah. Well, you know, the newspapers are not always accurate in their reporting.
They're not always accurate. Are they ever?
I wonder sometimes.
I wonder, too. But, you know, they've quit saying bad things about you because they're afraid you'll leave.
Really?
They won't have anybody to talk about.
You know, I wondered, is it difficult for you when you pick up a newspaper and you read things from columnists or reporters who are unkind?
Or the National Enquirer.
Yeah, or any of those, or something like that, who say unkind things about the president? Or have you learned that political life is such an arena that will happen?
I've learned not to worry about polls. I've learned not to worry about anything. You know, NBC's polls aren't doing so good.
No, we're not.
Well, you'll go up. You'll go up, and so will we.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Certainly.
I promise this. I came over Mayor Bradley. That's a different part of California, but you know where Los Angeles is, don't you?
Certainly.
He invited me out to this Mindoro, the 30th anniversary of this beautiful, beautiful place to have citizens, senior citizens.
Right.
I was there all day yesterday, and I promised to every one of them that I would mention it on television because they're having a special party to watch me tonight.
Are they really?
And can I tell them what a good time I had? I had a good time.
Ah, they want you tonight. That's nice. You know, it's tough to think of questions to ask you. You probably have not been asked. And the most obvious one is, what do you miss most? I would imagine that having a son who's president of the United States, you miss the getting together as often as you used to. The privacy, of course, is not what it used to be.
I miss the privacy.
Yeah.
I had to move out in the country to get privacy because I have a big dog, and I couldn't even turn him out of the house without a tourist stealing his dog collar or his flea collar.
As a souvenir.
That's right, it's a souvenir. And I moved out in the country to a little house I have out there. Come to see me.
I would like to do that.
I'd like to have you and your wife.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I'd have to bring the wife because, you know, in show business, if
honey.
you're out with a single woman, there's a lot of
There'd
talk.
be a lot of talk.
That paper that you mentioned would be added again.
That's
You like to cook. What would be a typical... I spent a lot of time in the South during the service. I was stationed in Mississippi for a while.
Were you?
Yes, I sure
I
was.
like Mississippi.
Yeah.
I've been over there 3 times in the last 4 months.
Is that right?
They asked me to come.
Yeah.
Everybody invites me. I don't cost anything. I'm free.
You appear for free, huh?
So I love Mississippi. You know, they gave the last 3 votes that got Jimmy in when you thought he wasn't going to win.
Ah.
When I thought he wasn't.
Did you have intuition? And they say women have better intuition than men do. When all the polls, showed that it probably wouldn't happen. And it was the political coup of the entire decade or century.
It was the greatest miracle that ever happened.
Yeah. Did you have an instinct that, by golly, it's going to happen?
Yeah. But every once in a while, he'd kind of go off his old role, like Playboy and little things like that.
Right.
And I would get uneasy for a few hours, and I'd say, well, honey, they'd rather have him like that than have him so pious.
Right.
He's a man.
Absolutely. Do you find when you're in public now that you have to be more careful in what you say, knowing that every time you open your mouth, somebody's going to print it?
Yeah,
Or you'd like to say something sometimes and really
I find
say it.
that I should do that. But still, I don't know when anything comes to my mind, I say it. I'll tell you a good joke when you get off. What worries me more about California than anything, I'm a Dodger fan.
Yes.
And the plane rushed to get here in time for me to see the game night before last. And, oh, boy, was I disappointed.
I know.
Are you a Dodger fan?
Yes, and it hasn't. Things have been a little tough.
It's been tough.
Do you think you could get the president to declare federal aid to the team?
I'm going to see.
As a disaster area? Huh? We have to interrupt to do this commercial, but we're going to come right back, and we got a lot of things to talk about. So stay with us. We are back. Thank you, Tom. I heard Miss Lillian just ask Ed if that was really iced tea he was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no fun at all, is it? You occasionally,
Take a little nip.
Good for the blood, isn't
Don't
it?
ask me that.
Did you know I was going to ask that?
I knew you would, because everybody does.
Yeah.
You know different. Fine, thank you.
Yeah, well, you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah.
Since somebody brought that up.
Sure.
It's well, no, it's well.
Billy's
it's well
my favorite
known.
child. Did you know that? Billy's doing fine. He went out to came to California on his own, and he came back and not even smoking cigarettes.
That's what I heard.
He's doing fine.
Look, a lot of people.
I always like to talk about it because so many people have been interested in him, and he did drink a little too much, and he's just like a different one. He's lost a lot of weight, but he chews tobacco now. But it's not the kind that dribbles.
Yeah, that dribbly kind is murder.
I think he swallows it.
Look, it takes, when you're in the public eye, it takes a certain amount of personal courage to go out, and Senator Talmadge has done it, and several other people, and Mrs. Ford, when she had her problem, talked about it, because it's a problem a lot of people have, and it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of.
I think it's wonderful of him to go, and he went of his own accord. And I really appreciate people asking me about him, because we're so proud of him.
Good for you. So when you said you took a little nip...
Well, that's late in the afternoon. I tell you, the other day when I left Atlanta... Can I talk?
Sure.
You talk so much.
You can say anything. That's right.
And Jimmy just like this.
Did you ever say that to your son, the president, now, when he's talking? Say, Jimmy, you talk too much?
I say, shut up.
You do, huh?
The other day when we left Atlanta, the difference in time confuses me.
Right.
And I never take my nip until just before I have supper. We call it supper at my house.
We did in the Midwest also?
Well, of course,
supper.
And that's what it really is.
That's right.
And I take that little bourbon every evening just before supper.
A couple of fingers?
Yeah, well, I won't know. I don't know. Just a little one.
Sure.
And we got on the plane, and it was 5 o'clock plane's time, and it was about 2 California time. And I made the big mistake of putting my watch back to California time. And here, the minute we left, here she's serving cocktails. And I said, with alcohol? Yeah. I said, I can't take a drink until 5 or 6 o'clock. You know what I did? I set my watch back. My children are listening to me.
That's nice. Ed has a watch that's on every time zone in the world. If it's 5 o'clock in Zanzibar, he has a drink. It makes no difference.
I always ask when I'm on a plane, going different places for Jimmy, and especially one of these Air Force Twos that I have been on once or twice. And some people on that plane drink all day. I don't do it. Right. I said, not till 6 o'clock. And every once in a while, and finally I said, when it's 6 o'clock plane's time, I'll have a drink.
You want to stay on plane's time?
I have to stay on plane's time, yeah.
Do you occasionally have a smoke?
Oh, yeah, I smoke when I want to.
Yeah.
If I get nervous, I smoke 5 or 6 at one time, then I don't smoke another one maybe for 2 months. Pretty nervous.
How do you do that? I wish I could do that.
I can do it. I don't know. I have a lot of willpower.
In other words, if you get nervous, you can have a few and then just...
Yeah, but now today I've smoked one.
Yeah.
I had to borrow that one. I love these people who say, I quit and bum yours.
And then borrow one all the time. How do you handle it when you're out and people come to you and ask you, or maybe they do this, to intercede or to suggest to the president some special interest or something? Does that happen often?
All the time.
Now, how do you diplomatically handle that?
I told them when they hand me an envelope, I said it's against the rules, I can't accept an envelope or a package for Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Right.
But every day I get 15 or 20 letters, and in that there's one addressed to the President of the United States, and I put here White House and let them do what they want to with it.
Right.
But when they asked me to intercede, I said no. I have direct contact with Jimmy anytime I want to, but we talk about personal things like, what did you have for dinner last night? Or where are you going today?
Right.
Oh,
What did he
Jimmy,
have for dinner last night?
Collards.
Collards? Yeah.
I'm sure he did, because
I learned to eat those in the South. They're wonderful.
I don't know what he had for dinner last night, but he does love them, and he had to teach the cooks in the White House what to cook, how to cook grits and everything.
Grits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, grits, I'll be honest with you. When I first I grew up in Nebraska, and when I first went to Mississippi, and I remember going through, was it in the naval training?
Yeah.
And for breakfast, all of a sudden I saw this
Grits?
mound of...
Gee, they're good.
I finally learned to like them. Well, you have to put a little butter on
Yeah.
them and a little salt.
Yeah.
But that is a secret weapon, the grits. And you get it no matter where you go in the South. You can go in for gas at a gas station. And they'll give you a side order of grits.
That's right.
In your pocket. You know, buy a suit and there's a pocket full of grits. But
But they're delicious with bacon, a country ham, and red-eye gravy. Now, that's
now you're
good
talking.
grits, yeah. I've been like Ed. I've been trying to lose a little weight, and every time I lose 5 pounds, I go on one of these trips, and I have to eat.
Yeah.
I gain it back. It's tough, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not the easiest thing on earth.
When you go to the White House, do you like to stay at the White House?
No, I don't.
Really? Why?
Well, I didn't mind when Jim and Rosen left home. I missed Amy. I kept her for 2 years. And when I go to the White House, both of them are so busy. And it's just another museum to me. And I go and visit all my friends at the State Department. You know, and all of them are from Georgia, you've heard.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I visit them, and we eat, and we go out together. And then when I go back, I see Jim and Rosen about 10 minutes. I get a little risque sometimes, but it's just for fun.
Everybody has to get a little risque once in a while, don't you think?
Have you ever made a speech to a crowd when nobody smiled?
Many times, right here. Many times.
I've learned the remedy for that.
Oh, what do you do?
Look out. Just say something a little risque and everybody's ears pick up.
Isn't that funny? They don't expect to hear it.
No, they don't. But they've got what they expected from me.
Somebody told me, I think it was things I read about you, I think it was in 49, you and the late Mr. Carter built what you described then as a dream house in Plains, Georgia. Now, in 1949, that's 30 years ago, what would a dream house
be to me?
Yeah, in those
A
years.
room with 2 baths. A
Is that
house
right?
with 2 baths. We had 4 children and 1 bath. And we were always late in getting off of the bus. Everybody was trying to get in the bathroom at one time. Of course, we had an outdoor.
Outhouse.
Yeah, privy.
Yeah, privy is what they call them.
And it was quite excellent. It was better than most people because it was kind of a 2-story thing. More than one could go out at the time. So I mentioned
Have a
that.
microwave oven in there? Very
We had a
modern.
Sears and Roebuck catalog.
Sears and Roebuck catalog. Well,
No, that's when Jimmy was small. We didn't have electricity at first.
Right.
And as soon as we got electricity, we got a bathroom, and that was the greatest innovation. Just think about not having to go out in that cold weather. But what I thought more than anything, I only had 1 child at home, is to have a bathroom for everyone.
makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, really.
I can still remember when my parents went from where you had to stoke the furnace, a coal furnace,
Yeah.
to oil.
Yeah.
And that was like, stepping ahead a decade or something.
Yeah.
But I kind of missed that. I remember going down in the morning and having to bank the fire to keep it going during the night. And you think you lose with all the technology? You think you lose sometimes the personal relations and the quieter days? Or do you think this is a good time
I
to
like
live?
these days. I tell you, don't tell me to go back to the old times.
You hear people being nostalgic
Yeah.
all the time.
Just stay where you are. You don't know what it was to go out and get wood and draw water in the well and things like that. I know all about that. In fact, if you ain't born poor now, you're just nothing.
Yeah.
If you're born rich, people don't pay any attention to you.
Yeah. A little adversity in your life is good
You
for
have to
some
have
people.
it, and especially if you write a book.
Yeah. Are you writing a?
No, I've never written anything. My daughter wrote one, and I wrote a letters from India. And she
When you were in the
kept
Peace
them
Corps
in
there.
and put them in a book.
Right. But
Quite
you must have
interesting.
had many, many offers from publishers asking you to write a book.
Oh, yeah.
Why have
I
you...
don't have time.
Really? Are they keeping you very
Yes,
busy?
I stay very busy.
Well, I know you're out here for this special thing
Yes, I
in
am.
Los Angeles.
Yes, I was.
That has to do with senior citizens.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is in this country that we don't, and a lot of people don't even like the term senior citizens. They just say elderly or whatever.
I don't like to be called senior citizen.
Yeah, it sounds like a euphemism for
Yeah,
somebody who is
yeah.
elderly or old.
They
doesn't
try
it?
to get me senior citizens. Get a new word for it.
Yeah. The elderly. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with growing
well-
old, and if we're all lucky, we're all going to grow old.
Well, I'm never growing old. I'm just 80. And
you're
I'm not old.
Never. No, you're
You know,
not.
when I was 79, I felt a lot older. I thought 79 sounds ancient. And when I got 80, I took on new life.
I really want to thank you for coming tonight.
Oh, I loved
It's
it.
just been a great pleasure.
Oh, I've had the best time. I didn't know you were so nice.
You've been reading all those newspapers again. You should know not to read those things in press.
Keep around.
Will
Thank
you?
you so much. Yeah. And how do I get off this place?
I'm going to go with you. Thank you, Miss Lillian. Miss Lillian, come. There are votes there.
Oh, yes. Oh, indeed.
She says what's on her mind. She's fun
Some
to talk
lady.
with. We will be right back. We have, what do we have?
Burt
Mighty-
Reynolds, if you consider him anything.
And first, before that, we're going to do a Mighty Carson Art Players.
Yes, we're going to try that one more time.
One more time. We'll be right back.
Tommy, it's time once again. All right. Tommy, let's go and get into the office. We'll never hold back on that. It is time for a visit once again with one of the mainstays of daytime television, the late afternoon movie host who brings you old pictures and sells anything and everything in sight. Welcome, please, that exciting guy, your host for today's Tea Time movie, your friend and his lovable Art Fern.
Hi there, feature film freaks. Art Fern here with today's feature film find. Edward G. Robinson, Leo G. Carroll, E. G. Marshall, C. Aubrey Smith, E. G. Gordon Liddy, and El Bombo, the super pigeon in Ma and Pa Kettle Go to Plato's Retreat. But first, friends, are you in a dead-end job? Is the highlight of your day watching the bubble go up in the water cooler? Are you tired of sharing desk space next to a man who's had gas for 20 years? To relieve boredom, do you find yourself straddling the photocopy machine and Xeroxing your stretch marks? Listen to me, friends, and maybe it's time you changed jobs and got into the exciting and rewarding field of veterinary medicine. Learn how to become a veterinarian. Enroll now in the School for Veterinarians, Spay-Tech. That's right, friends. Spay-Tech. Our motto is Mongo Tingo Durante, which means once you get your hands on an animal, you'll never let go. And speaking of animals, friends, yes, it's our matinee lady.
I've met a lot of vets.
I've heard of your charitable work among the veterans groups. Friends, at Spay-Tech, you'll learn everything there is to know about caring for animals. How to tell if a dog is really dead or faking it. He's really dead. If in order to wag his tail, you have to start it. We'll teach you how to amaze your friends at dinner by taking out your dog's tonsils with a fondue fork. Enroll at Spay-Tech and you'll receive this free sign to help to get people to bring your pets to you.
All the alterations are done right on the premises.
That's not all we do on the premises. We take you on field trips where you can practice on animals in the woods. You visit zoos, reach into a cage, check a hyena for a hernia. You'll train seeing-eye horses for blind jockeys. You'll learn electrolysis and how to remove excess body hair from a beaver. That's right, friends. You'll teach pets how to do tricks.
How do they learn how to do tricks?
I'll teach you how to do tricks later. Friends, we have a bilingual parrot school, so your parrot can curse your garbage man out in Spanish. Maybe you wish to be a specialist. We'll show you what you need to become a pet optometrist. Here's the eye chart we use when examining a cat for glasses. We show you the latest in pet surgery techniques like cosmetic surgery. We teach you how to turn your bulldog's face into a German shepherd's. We can take this dog here and enlarge her bus line.
Wow, I love that. Can I have that done?
Beg your pardon?
I love that. Can I have that done?
If you wish to never stand erect again, you can have that done. Yes, friends, we also teach you how to mate your cow with a bull. Here's what you do. Put your cow in a field with the bull. Put a red blanket over the backside of the cow. Play a record of Fly Me to the Moon and stand back. You'll see your cow jump over the moon. Friends, we have, for the dog who likes his privacy, a pay fire hydrant. That's not all, friends. We'll teach you how to become a fish doctor. For example, here is the glove you'll use to check out a sperm whale. You'll ask a female octopus to climb into the stirrups. We also have a pet service. If you go away on vacation, leave your pets with us. We'll board your beagle, feed your fox terrier, and protect your parakeet.
Will you watch my pussycat?
At Spaytech, friends, you'll find us in the yellow pages. We used to be in the white pages, but one of our patients had an accident. Or you can actually come to our school in person. How do you get there, you ask?
How do we get there?
Yes, you take the San Diego Freeway to the Ventura Freeway to the Slauson Cutoff. Get out of the car, cut off your Slauson. Get back in the car and drive 6 miles till you see a pack of wild dogs sniffing Doris Day. Now, friends, back to our movie. Edmund O'Brien, Hugh O'Brien, Margaret O'Brien, Brian Keith, and Macho, the giant oyster, in Andy Hardy Goes to a Gay Roller Disco. Oh, we're back already. We'll be right back to our feature. Errol Flynn, Leon Aero, Leon Spinks, our own Schwarzenegger, and Hung, the Super Ape. In Tarzan checks a pygmy woman for lumps. But first, friends, let me ask you this. How's your backyard? Is your backyard a mess? Is it filled with nothing but crabgrass? Is it filled with nothing but crabs? Is there so much junk in your yard that buzzards have to take a number before there's room to land? Is the prettiest thing lying on your lawn a dead gypsy? Then maybe it's time you called in the landscape experts who'll spruce up your yard. Get it back in shape for those lazy, hazy, crazy days of outdoor summer living. The professionals in garden improvement management who'll turn that barren rock pile into a manicured paradise. Yes, friends, I'm talking about a company called Up Your Grass. Now, friends, that's fine. At Up Your Grass, we know a lot about gardening. One of our workers is a personal friend of an actual Japanese person. You want an herb garden? We'll send over a man named Herb to squat on your bush. Look at some of the plants. Let me show you some of the plants you'll grow in your garden. Here's the wonderful Venus flytrap.
A plant plant.
That is a Venus flytrap,
A
friend.
plant plant.
I'd like to plant my plants in your gazebo. Now, friends, with those warm days coming up, what could be more refreshing than a dip in your own private swimming pool? Most pools are kiddie-shaped, but we'll build you a pool shaped in the organ of your choice. Here's a model of a pool that we built for Dolly Parton, right here. There you are, friends. Take a dip in there. Maybe you wish to install the latest thing to come along in outdoor recreation, the hot tub.
You can really get hot in a hot tub. We sat in one last night. It was so much fun with all those bubbles.
And we're going to try it again tonight, and this time add water. Friends, if you don't have room for a hot tub, we'll give you this portable hot tub, which you can strap to whatever portion of your body you wish to get hot. One suggestion, don't wear this if you're dating a woodpecker. If you wish to go skinny dipping, friends, if you wish to go skinny dipping, but you don't want to build a fence, we send over this man who shields you, friends, with this coat.
I
I beg your pardon?
I knew
Never mind, get him out of here. So, friends... Set up your grass, don't worry about credit. Got no job? We don't care. Got a bad credit rating? We don't care. Got no money? We don't care. Say you're not going to pay us? That's when we care. And after we finish fixing up your property, you'll be the talk of the neighborhood. They'll say, let's evict them. To get to Up Your Grass Backyard Center, take the San Diego Freeway, to the Garden Grove Freeway, to the Long Beach Freeway. Use the Queen Mary facilities. Get back in your car and drive 6 miles until you get to... The fork in the road. That's right. Keep moving, fellows. Then go 8 more miles till you see the giant neon illegal alien watering the peat moss. That's us. Now back to our flick. Lee J. Cobb, Lee Majors, Lee Marvin, Bruce Lee, and Inserto, the giant eel. In Tugboat Annie gets her barnacles scraped. So long for now. That's it, friends.
My next guest, you all know... Easy now. Thank you. Burt's going to be starring in a new film called Starting Over, which is going to be releasing this fall. And this summer, there's going to be a major re-release of Hooper. It was a good picture in which he portrays the greatest stuntman alive. What can I say? Burt Reynolds. Sure, I could have got that if I'd worn my black suit. You know, the first thing that the president's mother said to me after getting all the little social amenities out of the way, I walked in the room and said, Miss Lillian, it's a pleasure to have you here. She said, where's Burt Reynolds? First thing she said she wanted to meet.
She's a bright lady.
She really...
Wonderful lady. I was watching her on the monitor back there, and she said some brilliant things. The part about me, I thought, was special.
You did get a chance to go in and meet her, did you?
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's really wonderful.
Yeah, she says what's on her mind, and...
Sure does. It's, she has a great sense of humor.
Yes, she does. I think she says a few little things just to shock people sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when she says, we're going to have a little bourbon tonight. She leaned over and says, I just said that.
She's not going to have a little bourbon.
No, I think she's going to have a little belt.
Yeah.
How you been? I haven't seen you for a long time.
Good. I got my grown-up clothes on.
I was going to say, this is...
Thank you. Thank you. Be in the parking lot later, and we'll...
This is for you.
No, this is... I did this for the first mother. I wore them for her, and I didn't realize she was going to leave, and I had to do another gig somewhere or something. But thought I was going to get a chance to talk to her. Probably in a gas line somewhere or something.
Well, this is very nice, really, because...
Thank you.
Normally you come on, you look like a Mexican road agent.
Yeah.
Like you're holding up the stage from Barstow or something, but this is nice.
Well, I like to change now and then. You know, I think the leather look is going out. You know, it's nice to have a nice, adult look.
Yeah. Is the leather out on its way out?
Well, it's
I
not
never got into leather. I mean, I know...
Well, that's not what I heard.
We all have our little...
You have a little, you have your leather night, but it's after you leave here. I remember. You remember that night?
Yes, I do. Now, David Steinberg was here a couple of weeks ago. Remember that night? And he was talking about being at your house along with Ed McMahon for a big party.
Yeah,
and
we had a really good party.
And I said at that time my invitation was probably lost in the mail.
No. See, I've been waiting for you to ask me to be in the Mighty Carson Art Players sketch. You've never asked me.
Oh.
So, you've had other actors. You've had some...
Yes, that's true.
George C. Scott, you had...
George, Maureen Stapleton. E.G. Marshall.
E.G. Marshall.
Beverly Sills.
Beverly Sills. Never asked me. I'm number 1 this year. Number 1.
You know, this man has received... Now, this year, I saw the People's Choice, and you were voted the most popular actor and the most popular entertainer of the year. First time anybody has won that at the same time. And you were also voted...
I'm not even going to work next year. I'm just going to be put out the stud.
Are you going to... And the number one, by the National Theater owners, the number one box office star in the world. Now, that doesn't leave much for the rest of us to grub around for.
Yeah.
We'll get things like the nicest haircut or clean fingernails or something, but you've taken everything out. I noticed that. What'd you do?
I was just kind of puttering around the house, as they say, and closed the window on it.
Did you do one of those dumb things?
I looked at the window and said, I'm number one here.
And the window
didn't care. It was broke down.
That doesn't help, does it?
Doesn't help, no.
Well, what do you got to look forward to now?
A tank of gas.
Now, be honest.
The Oscar? The Oscar would be good. That'd be nice. But I don't think I'll ever win an Oscar.
Why not?
Well, it's very seldom that the industry likes what the people like. You see.
You mean if you did Hamlet or...
Well, I'd like to do something really, really historic, like Smokey Meets Hamlet.
And double nickels him to death.
Yeah.
Smokey Meets Hamlet.
That'd be good. I don't think the people go for it.
Does that... Come on, Burt. Inside, does it bother you? I mean, would be the...
It's a festering sore. But,
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who've never won an Oscar.
It's true, yeah.
Good actors, fine actors.
You have to get very ill or very old. Or be very good and live in an attic in New York.
You think that's the trick?
Yeah. I think that's a prerequisite. Otherwise, I don't know. I think maybe I'm doing some good pictures now with some important directors who the industry likes, and maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of credit.
And you still like to direct?
I want to direct more than anything else. That's really what I want.
Better than acting?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I love Well, it's the difference between being a chess player and a chess pawn, And and besides that, you don't have to hold your stomach in.
Just let everything go. Huh?
Yeah.
I have to do a commercial here.
Sure, I understand.
I know, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we have to pay you, We have to do this to get all these big funds that we give you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll be right back after this. Talking to Burt Reynolds. It was mentioned when Miss Lillian was there. Have you ever met the president, or?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
He was so nice to me. I was. How nice? I got nothing for that. I'll tell you how nice. I was doing a picture called The Longest Yard, and we needed a prison, and so they had one in Georgia. Boy, they got one in Georgia. And
That's right, we went film that down.
We went there to find out if we could use the state prison. And while I was talking to him, he was very gracious. And I said, what happens if somebody grabs me, Not because they like me, but I mean, because they want to hold me for a while, And
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility, Sure. And he said, I'll come and take your place. And I thought right then, at that very moment, I said, this guy is either really nice and not too bright, or he's lying, Either way, he's got a great chance to be president.
That's a swift move.
No, he was absolutely charming, and they were terrific to us down there.
Yeah.
Georgia is the best state I've ever shot a picture in terms of. But we are going to do Smokey Has a Child, or whatever it's going to be called.
You're doing a sequel, aren't you?
Yeah, we're doing a sequel.
Well, what is the sequel called?
Well, right now it's called Smokey and the Bandit 2, which I think took a lot of thinking to come up with that. But
now, you were talking a moment ago that I have never invited you to be on the Mighty Carson Art Players.
Yes.
Then again, you have never said, hey, Johnny, I'm making a motion picture.
Right.
Would you care to be in this venture? No.
I had, see, who did I have? I had, Mike Douglas did a part in a picture with me. He was terrific. But he doesn't wear any checks. You know what I mean? And the checks just bounce off the screen. You find yourself looking at the checks all the time. You don't look at the face, you know? And,
Don't you think I could handle a role in one of your pictures?
there's no question you could handle a role.
I'm not asking for a commitment on the air.
No, I think you should be. I think you should be seriously considered for a part. We have a part in the Smokey 2.
Uh-huh.
We're taking a pregnant elephant from the Key West to the Cotton Bowl before it gives birth, and locked in with the pregnant elephant, we kidnap a gynecologist just to look after the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out, you know. And I think it'd be
This is
sensational.
what you have in mind for me.
Well, it'd be a great part for you because we could shoot it all right in one little room. You know,
With the pregnant
with the elephant.
Uh-huh.
And then occasionally, you know, you could use that glove you had.
When you get something else, would you...
You want something a little more romantic?
Yeah, that's not for me.
If you had your choice of any woman in the world, who would you like to work with?
As an actress?
Yeah. Well.
Well, I didn't exactly know. Excuse me, I'm...
As an actress.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of fine actresses. I think Jane Fonda is an excellent... I think Sally Fields is one hell of an actress. Shirley MacLaine is a good actress in certain things.
Yeah. I can get you one of those.
Glenda Jackson is a good actress.
Glenda Jackson's a great actress. Yeah. They're all terrific actresses.
People like that.
I like all those.
Well, did you had something in mind?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, somebody asked me that the other day. Sophia Loren has always been kind of a fantasy of mine.
You never met her?
I met her. But
we had her on the show, and she's charming, gal. She's charming.
Yeah. I'm going to do a play with Carol Burnett at my theater.
That's right. You have the dinner theater in your hometown.
Yeah.
Not actually your hometown.
It is my hometown.
It is your hometown. As I said, it's your hometown.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Yeah. Jupiter.
And it's simply called the
Jupiter.
It's the Burt Reynolds dinner theater, right?
Yes. Yes.
We going to do same time next year?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. That's what she did here.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to do a Plaza Suite with her.
Oh, that's
I've always wanted to do something with Carol.
That's
My husband didn't want me to, but I always. And so
Joe's a sore loser.
Joe's silly about
The
it.
Plaza Suites are great. That's that trilogy of 3 different
Yeah.
things. We got
It'd
that.
be fun. And it's at the Burt Reynolds Theater. We're going to call it the Broadway Crawford Theater, but that's silly.
That's right. People will get lost, and why not put your name on it? Is it doing well?
It's sold out for a year.
Well, that's sensational.
Yeah, but you can get tickets if you if you butter people. Hot tickets. Yeah.
Never been offered a role in your theater either. You didn't even invite me to your party.
I'd like you to come down. I'd like you to do a picture with me. I'd like you to do
I hate to put you on
play.
the spot like this, but...
All those things I'd like you to do. But
It's not in the cards. It's not in the cards. You're hot.
because, you know what I mean? I'm number one.
That's right. That's right. I saw that.
It was so silly. The other night, I was driving around. I was trying to get some gas. And I pulled into a station. And, well, it's not a flashy car. You know what I mean? It does say number 1 on the license plate. But it's not a flashy car. It's silver.
Yeah.
That's not
And the
flashy.
neon bumpers, of course.
Neon bumpers and the photograph on the
That's right.
on the And I was parked there. This is absolutely the truth. I was parked there, and it was late at night, and it was a lot of people. And I thought, I hope this doesn't get out of hand, And but I like people, so it's not going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So sure enough, somebody came over and said, "Hi, how you doing?" I said, "Getting gas, waiting in line," and it was one of those do-it-yourself jobs. So I used to do that. I used to pump gas when I was in Florida, but at a place called Billups. And they used to give plates to people that got, so many. I'd give a plate to them if they filled up. This wasn't like that. And I got the thing, and I went over and I stuck it in the back of the car. And then I couldn't find the little thing, that you used to turn when I was a kid.
It starts again.
Yeah, and everybody was staring at me, And I really looked silly, and I had the gas pump, and people were just kind of staring at me. So I went over, and then I finally found a thing and flipped it down, and the gas went in, and I stood there for a long time. And then it kind of filled up, and I went back. And then I walked up to a window, and everybody followed me. Up to the window. There's a lot of people around. How you doing? Nice to see you. And signing things. I said to the guy I got $10 with. He said, you're only allowed 5. I said, but I got 10. He said, you're only allowed 5. I said, what do you want me to suck it out of there? And so I paid the guy 5.
That's good. You're not one to mess with.
No.
That's funny.
It is hard. Do you do that? Do you go in those places?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've done that, but now they have a little chrome thing on the side that turns it. It's not a handle.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a little valve. You turn it, that starts the whole business.
Yeah.
This is something new. I've not seen this middle button open on the vest. It's kind of a touch.
It's a touch I do myself.
I thought it was just
I do that because...
You see, you can set styles like that. Most of us leave a button.
This and this.
Kind of cute.
Yeah, you like it?
Every guy in the country tomorrow will have that middle button open on the vest.
It's kind of a nice touch.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Okay. A lot of fun here.
Yes. I buttoned that back up because that was silly to have.
Could have been a style setter.
See, I had this on.
What? I thought that was.
I have to be. Somebody dresses me when I dress like this. I don't know how to dress like this. So I have.
You need a keychain, huh?
I have another person come over. Jack Lord comes over. And I had this hanging, and I felt, silly with this.
Well, that looks
so
very...
I took this off, and I left this unbuttoned. And of course, you had to make a remark.
I just thought it was something new that you were.
It could be, it could be that I'm very well built, and I'm going to the job.
Okay, moving along. My next guest you saw earlier. She's our very own matinee lady, and she's in a movie called Scavenger Hunt, which is now filming. Not right this moment, because she's here. And well, obviously she,
Right.
Well, I mean, currently it is in production, as they say. All those movie terms I'm not familiar with. And she's doing a lot of new commercials and stuff, and we're going to ask her to come out here. Is that okay? Carol Wayne. How are you, dear?
Nice. I'm very nice.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Did you meet Mrs. Carter
Yes,
backstage?
the first mother, of course.
Yeah. What'd you say to her? Did you get nervous when you meet somebody like that?
No, I adored her. I think she's really on the ball, I think she's a real cutie pie.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people, get a little tongue-tied and don't exactly know what to say.
Oh, I'm not that way.
No. Okay. Have you met before?
Carol now?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Do I know you?
It was a weekend in Pasadena.
I can't imagine you two having met.
No,
and not remember.
we haven't met, actually.
No, we haven't met.
No. But I would remember. I would remember. Haven't we? We haven't met.
I don't think
No.
so.
I mentioned you were... Go ahead, Bert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, it's your show.
I mentioned you were busy doing some commercials.
Yes, I've been very busy.
Have I seen these on the air?
Well, have you been watching?
I watch a certain amount of television, yeah, because I have to... I'm in the business, and I check it occasionally, see what's happening.
Obviously, you didn't see me.
Well,
or
me,
you would have
haven't-
remembered, right?
Right, I would have remembered.
Can I ask what commercials they were, or you want
Yes,
to talk about them?
I
or?
did a beer commercial with George Burns and Jack Klugman and me. I buttoned them up. I learned this new phrase. When you're at the end, you button them up. And I did that. I didn't mean to get so serious.
That's all right. You just help yourself there.
Okay.
And I did a blue bonnet commercial. Margarine.
That's a margarine.
Yes. I did it with Reggie Jackson and Hermione Gingold and...
Just a typical family. Reggie Jackson, Hermione Gingold, and you. Now, there's a Quinella.
Joe Frazier.
And Joe Frazier.
And me and Abe Pagoda.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
all had to wear the blue bonnet.
Your average family, yeah.
You were all covered in margarine?
No, I had to spread it on whole wheat carrot protein toast, and they gave me a cup of coffee, and I said, could I have a glass of milk if I'm supposed to be spreading this on such healthy stuff? They said, no, Joe Frazier had the glass of milk. I said, are they going to mix me up with Joe Frazier? Couldn't I have milk too? But
Wouldn't think so, well?
I had coffee.
It was a rather low-budget commercial, obviously, and there's one glass of milk for the cast. What's the movie? Was I right? Scavenger Hunt? Is that the name of it? And you're currently doing that?
No, I did it. It's with a lot of people. Isn't that still like doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
You buttoned it up.
I buttoned it up.
You buttoned it up.
Yeah.
Called it
Wrapped it up.
Wrapped it up.
It's with a lot of people like Richard Benjamin and Robert Morley and Cloris Leachman and Ruth Gordon and James Coco. And I'm a nurse. And I have a patient, Vincent Price. And we're playing a game in bed and he dies.
Okay, what are you folks working on? And he dies.
We were playing leapfrog.
Yeah. Could lead to death, I suppose.
Yeah.
He loses, and he's a bad sport.
Yeah. Sounds like a kind of a strange movie.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were
They're
in
still
it,
doing it. Yeah, but I only
I
did...
just said they were doing it, and you said they weren't doing it.
Oh, but I did it already. I'm not coming back. I did my part.
So when I said they're still doing it, they're still doing it.
Are they? You know who else was in the movie? Tony Randall. And he said to me, Carol, I'd like to see you in my dressing room. I thought, oh, no, not Tony Randall. You know how he says it so with authority?
Yes.
And I wasn't born every minute. So I said, let's keep the door open. And he said, okay. He came in, he said, how serious are you about your acting? I said, oh, I'm not serious at all. I have all my parts. I never go out looking for parts. They just come and get me. Really, I'm not serious. I went for one acting lesson with my manager, Ray Slivers. You remember him? And I went to this famous acting coach, and he had me go, seduce me, seduce me, seduce me. And I went, uh-huh. And I said to Mr. Slivers, do you know what you paid $50 for? And that's the last acting lesson I had. And I said, that's it. He said, good, because with your voice, you will always play the parts of idiots. I said, uh-huh. He said, everybody has two voices, and you've chosen not to develop your other voice. You are a body of a woman with the voice of a child. He said, and only your analyst would know why that's true. And I said, oh, I don't have one of those either. He said, aha, that's the other voice. I just heard it. And so he gave me the name of this lady who's an voice teacher, and he said, she probably won't teach you because she has very serious students. So when I think about it, everything he said to me was real rotten, but I was very impressed because he took his special...
He was showing an interest in you.
Yes, he was, and I loved it. So I went and I called the lady, and she said, oh, okay, you come to the San Bernardino. Oh. Anyway, I don't have another voice.
Have you tried?
Yes, she teaches you how to find the holes in your head, like right here, to keep your mouth open.
Right. Important, very important.
And then you stand against the wall and you put your hands here so you can hear where your air goes.
Why did you quit?
I didn't quit. I still have one more lesson coming.
Is she trying to lower your voice?
No, she said this was it.
In other words, you don't have another voice.
Nope.
Did you...
I can't wait to see Tony Randall. He is full of puckery.
Yeah, he sure is.
He knows where the air goes.
Yeah.
Where's all the air going?
Where the air goes. Did you hear Miss Lillian said something